Hey guys, welcome back to movie review. Now my door's open because Maggie knows I'm awake, and she's in here right now actually. How you doing? So she hates it when my door's closed, so she might be coming in and out. So if I stop randomly, that's kind of why. I also have food up here too, so pardon if I start eating. And finally, for the pardoning, I'm sounding kind of sick, so kind of excuse that as well. But let's see if I can do this. I'm trying to set up something new for movie review because we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're still gonna review the movie that I watched this week, but also I wanted to review something that actually came out earlier this week as well. For she just went downstairs. I probably closed my door, but I'm not. For Dragon Ball Super. So here I don't have my face cam up because I want you to experience the entire thing, and I'm gonna be right back onto the camera anyways for my next movie. But here's the official Dragon Ball teaser trailer. I'm gonna break it down frame by frame. I had to do a little bit of research on this myself. But I'll just play it completely throughout the full 33 seconds, and then I'll break it down, find out what's interesting, find out what I learned. And then we'll talk about the actual movie. So here we go. Here's the official Dragon Ball Super movie, which is kind of interesting because it is the first official movie that's, Dragon Ball Super, Resurrection F, Battle of Gods, those two movies, those were Dragon Ball Z. This is the Toei Animation logo, I believe. I could be wrong. I do apologize if I am wrong. But here we go. Okay, so let's start with the very beginning with the style of this. Obviously, this isn't from the normal Dragon Ball Super series from the tournament arc on. For those of you who don't know what the hell I'm talking about, I do apologize as well. There's a lot of people involved in this, and if I try to say the names, I am going to butcher them. So I'm just gonna be as general and as not specific as possible. So here, the animation style is different from like usual styles that's been going on recently in the Dragon Ball Super series. There's only like one episode left until take their hiatus. Whoops, I dropped my phone. I'm actually going to use my phone to try to look up some names. Actually, nope, never mind. That's actually a terrible idea. So as you can see here, the it is different. It's very manga-esque or comic book-esque, if you want to say it like that, but the technical name is manga. So we're going to go through frame by frame, and you can see here Goku is warming up. And here's his new opponent, which is up here. And a lot of people say this is an enemy named Broly, and he's been in like 3 movies, which is kind of stupid. But it's not. And the other thing too is a lot of people are saying this is another transformation of a Saiyan because of the fur. It's not. It's literally tied off right here. We're going to play this frame by frame. This is actually what I discovered. It's a little detail, and I'm literally going frame by frame right now. But right there, that hand blur, that's actually something a lot of people are kind of geeking over. It's like a motion blur, and it's actually used a lot in action movies, and how they do that. Just think of like your standard, Avengers or Justice League or something like that. They use motion blur, and they use like shutter speed, shutter angle, stuff like that. The perfect shutter angle in that movie is 180 degrees. And what they're doing here is they actually have the programming, and they actually have the technology now to simulate an accurate motion blur that's realistic to what a person would do. And yeah, it's just one frame. Kind of get a little bit of it right here. And what they also do, it's a post-production thing, but they also do a camera shake. I'll put in the link down below of the person who I learned this from. He didn't physically message me, I just watched one of his videos. It's Animation Live Reaction, and his video discussing the Super trailer is a lot better. He actually says the names, so if you want to look at that, that's fine. But, whoop, I went too far. But, we also have Goku as well. I don't know why I said it like that. But yeah, just that one frame of motion blur just adds, you know, perfect smoothness. And playing it right now, right there. And it's perfect. And they also added a little bit of the camera shake as well. So now let's go to, alright, so yeah, the strongest, to be the strongest. So now we have Goku. And Goku does the same thing. So right there with his hand, you know, his hand swinging, whoop, and I went a little too far again, and his leg. So we also have his arm as well. And I think they did this just to show off their animation style, because the animator for this is actually not, he's supposedly from, we've got to work on this from a different anime, which is One Piece. For those who may like that better, it's whatever. So we have Goku, right there is another motion blur. I really like how they're doing this now. And another one with his other hand coming in. I do like how also, he didn't mention this, but I liked it too, how they have the lighting. He always mentioned the characters. He always mentioned, you know, what the area's gonna be like. He never mentioned the lighting. Laying on this is amazing, personally. So it's like the camera is moving, like he's actually recording this like it's live. So his arm's raising up again, and then right there you can actually see his foot for 2 frames, and then come swinging down both his legs, getting into position, a little bit of camera shake, and he's getting into his classic fighting style from back in the very beginning, which is right there. And you can see too at the very end his fingers have that little bit of a motion blur, which is fascinating. And they also had a little bit of a camera shake. I like it too because what they've been doing a lot recently, especially with the most recent episode of Dragon Ball Super. I'll actually leave a link to a website called Crunchyroll, which is, this is not sponsored by any means necessary, but they have a lot of, you know, anime on there, you know, dubbed, subbed, whatever. But they also have Dragon Ball Super, and if you actually watch the most recent episode, you'll see what I mean, because that has that fluidity, that has that, in the very first half of that episode, they have the animation style, not this particular style, but like the movements and all that. They have the motion blur, they have not as much camera shaking. The only reason they have camera shaking involved is, I'll show you in a second, especially with Goku's feet. Where is it? Come on. So he moves his feet, and just to show power, because he steps on the ice, and the whole entire camera just shakes. It's just to show power, just to show, you know, just give you a mind of, oh crap, this is happening. Especially in episode 130, which is the most recent episode, they have a lot of camera shaking, almost to the point of where it's a little bit nauseating. It's just a little too much, in my opinion. But, so, we'll continue from here. Whoop, I think I went too far. Okay, yeah. So, camera shakes, camera shake, camera shake. What I like, what's come up next. So, Goku is like, well, it's time to get started. Come on. Right there. I like, too, how, like, also the motion blur here. That's pretty cool. But the thing is, because Goku's eyes are so dark, like that, it's fascinating to me that you get to zoom up and you see his pupil. I always thought for the longest time that they had no pupils. The only time you actually get to see their pupils, even when they transform, is Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, and Limit Breaker, and Ultra Instinct, which is the newest form. For those who don't know what that means, I slapped up pictures for you. But even in his Super Saiyan state, Super Saiyan 2, actually, wait a minute. So I just pulled up an image on my phone just to double check myself. But the Super Saiyan form doesn't have pupils. And I'm going to check Super Saiyan 2 right now, just to be safe. And yeah, they don't have pupils either, which is very bizarre. But yet Super Saiyan 3, the longer hair, they have it, which is very unusual, in my opinion. But hey, whatever. So, I'm going to skip ahead. So to be strongest, a Saiyan has no limits. So here we go, Goku's flying up. I mean, also the animation right here is kind of lackluster, but it's also far away, so that's how they can get away with it. So you can see the camera shaking because Goku's taking off, and he's coming into focus. He's flying up. The also thing right here, I don't know why. Now I'm looking at it. How when he's time to get started, you see his pupil, but yet right here you can't. So here's the Saiyan, his hand blur. That little tiny hand blur for 2 frames. Just opening his hand. It just shows you how fast they are, and it's just phenomenal. So he's getting ready to block Goku. So Saiyan has no limits. Let's see. There he is. There's our guy. So another reason why I'm saying it's not Broly is because he doesn't have yellow eyes. And this is also another reason why a lot of people are saying this is Super Saiyan 4. Which, for those of you who aren't Dragon Ball nerds or geeks, that's an uncanon or not official transformation of a Saiyan. Goku and Vegeta are the only 2 that technically have it, and what ends up happening is it's like it's a primal form, and it's technically not even a Super Saiyan form, but whatever. I'm not even going to get into the logistics of it. But the only reason why I'm saying it's not, because yes, they do have yellow eyes, but they also have, like, an outline around their eye, and this is just like him squinting. When I say they have an outline, I literally mean it's a red line going right around their eye. And I'll pull up a picture so you guys know what I mean. So, and also when Broly transforms, his hair is green. This is not green. His aura is green, yes, but his eyes, he's in his base form. And also, too, he has like a little tuft going. Just to show you, yeah, okay, this guy's strong. And I like, too, how they have individual hairs. I'm just kind of realizing that right now. So you can see the little hairs breaking off, and his hair swinging around. We usually see the hair like this, in this frame right now. Just like a little block. And it looks like you see lightning as well, which I just realized right now. So this guy's powerful. So, and then we have Goku, another motion blur shot of him coming forward. He's bringing out his power. And you can see some of the camera shaking as well. Just more examples of motion blur. And then we have the logo, Dragon Ball Super, which is awesome. And like I said before, Resurrection F, which is another movie, and the movie before that, Battle of Gods, which was actually the first movie released before any of us here in America knew that Dragon Ball was coming back. Actually, I think it was the first movie released everywhere, to be honest, before Dragon Ball even came back. And that was like awesome news. That was super exciting. Because I remember when I saw this, that Dragon Ball was coming back. I've been watching just Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff. It is a fantastic show, as much as I rag on it. So Dragon Ball Super, there's the logo. Even the logo itself has a little bit of that blur. So just keep going, go, go, go. I want to show another shot right here. So the impact, that's another big thing with the motion blur. I honestly don't know a lot of examples with that. Probably if the Hulk fighting, you could feel the impact, and it's not even a lot. But right there, you could see that the motion blur as well as with the impact, and then you could see them colliding, and with the light as well with their power. So there you go, and it actually recoils, which is actually really fascinating. and you could see how they struggle when they fight. And then here's the end of it, of the teaser trailer. Coming soon, Earth has Goku. Now that's as much as we actually know. As an animation standpoint, you know, wanting to be an animator, especially with the motion blurs. Where is it? If I can get it. Especially right here. Because like I said, this shot, from what I've learned, is very hard to do. And it's fascinating how they've come so long. Also, it is the 20th movie, so you know a thing or two if you're doing this. But it's just fascinating. And this is, like I said, capturing motion blur in an anime or animated style is very, very difficult. So kudos to whoever did this. It's amazing. Alright. Enough Dragon Ball. Let's move on. Alrighty, I am back. I am fine. I ended up closing my door anyways. So let me just take a bite of my pie here. Buffalo chicken pie. Look good. Like I said, I haven't had breakfast yet, so cut me some slack. Okay. So, this week's movie was titled You, the Living, and it was actually very funny. It was a funny movie. It's in Swedish. So, where's, hey! Hey! Yeah, hey, hey. Do we, hey, one second. Hey. Is there any chance that we can get Felix? Yes, him. No? Really? Yes, I know I have 19 subscribers, but that... Yes, I know he's the king of YouTube, but that doesn't... Come on, really? Yes, I know, alright? Look. It doesn't matter. He was great then, he's great now. I know he's a meme. Everybody, right? Yeah. Everybody knows he's a meme. Okay, just because he did that, can you do this thing? Yes, I know I'm basically stealing his content with the movie review. Just because I reference him, no. Okay, just because I reference his meme doesn't mean I'm reviewing his meme. Just see if you can get Felix, alright? And bring me muffins! Alright, whatever. Anyways. So, seriously though, where's Felix when you need him?
Okay. Jävlar I kukens röv! Hey! Rude. Jävlar, what the fuck in a duck's face?
Cuts to Swedish Felix. And yeah, so it's called You the Living. It's a dark comedy, and it's fucking hilarious. It's so blunt. It's like, I don't even know how to explain this. It's like unpredictability. That's basically what the whole movie's about. There's the very first scene. You know, there's a guy sleeping on the couch. And a plane flies over his head. And he's like, ah! And he's like, I had a dream that the bombers were coming. It was awful. And then it cuts into a scene. Basically, everything's like a dream within a dream within a dream. That's the whole point of this. It's not like... I will say, now that I was about to say that, there's some adult content. There's obviously swearing in Swedish, which is actually kind of funny. But there is one... It was a very quick change of pace, and all of us were like, oh, okay, here's a sex scene. And the poor dude, I felt bad for the dude, because... Alright, first of all, he was wearing, like, a military uniform afterwards. But his lover or something like that was wearing it, and I had no idea what she was wearing, so I thought it was, like, some weird contrast. I thought it was, like... these like form of earmuffs with a metal hat and a spike, and I'm like, what the fuck are you wearing? So he's like, oh, this is awful. He's talking about his banking issues, and the girl's like, oh yeah, obviously enjoying the sex, but he's like, oh, it's awful. I was like, oh, so nice. It's awesome that you're losing all your money. Clearly, I'm paying attention to everything you're saying, not just enjoying the dick inside me. Whatever, hey, just keep talking. He's not even enjoying. He's just laying there, and he's like, this is awful. I lost, my retirement's gone, all this stuff, everything's an existential crisis. She's just going to town. But, yeah, so adult content, I kind of said it there. Go at your own pace. That's the only thing that's like, alright. There's one funny scene before any of that. Actually, no, it's in between. It doesn't make sense, but it also makes sense at the same time. It does come full circle. But what ends up happening is this guy has this dream. He's talking to us. It's like bumper-to-bumper traffic. So it's like they're going so slow, and you're like, where are they going? He's like, I had a dream that I was at a party. He said, again, here's the sense of like, oh yeah, I had a dream, blah, blah, blah. And this is where you kind of get a sense that something's going to happen as well. Because he's like, oh, I had a dream that I was at a party. It wasn't a happy party. What ends up happening was, it was a kind of down party, and the guy tries to perform that tablecloth trick. The one where you just grab it and you yank it, and then everything, in theory, stays. Well, he ends up breaking everything. He has tripping over his feet. He goes to court, and I gotta look this up, because I don't remember what the actual thing is called, because I don't want to mess this up, because I tried to explain it, and I'm like, I don't know. It's gross something. And I told my mom, I was like, is it gross lewdness? I'm like, no, that's not it. Gross, I think it's gross. What is it? Gross. Is it gross delinquency? Crap. I don't remember what it is. So he was basically, it doesn't say exactly what happened, but he was a carpenter, and his dream was that he was condemned and executed for breaking an old china set. So it doesn't say exactly what his thing was, but he's like, so they're in court, and his lawyer is crying. Not the guy, but the lawyer was just bawling his eyes out. And one of the three judges is like, hey, no tears are going to save you. So they're talking about it. And next thing you know, this lady comes in with three pints of beer. Just hands them to the judges. And that's one of those things that's like, what? What are you doing? That doesn't belong. So they're just talking. It's like, how old was the thing again? And she's like, it was 200 years. It was more than 200 years. It was passed down by my great-great-grandma. She kept saying that. And it was like, Jesus, lady, calm down. And it's like, that's life. And they're like, no, that's worse than life. And you're just sitting there and they're like, I have a can, but you know what I mean. But it's like, they're like, execution? Execution. Electric chair? Alright, execution, electric chair. 1, 2, 3, yeah! And I'm like, oh my god. So, the lawyer's still crying, and the carpenter's like, don't worry, that's still life. And I'm like, why are you so calm about this? You kidding me? You're gonna get executed. You're gonna be dead. So, next scene, they're all sitting there. 2 of them have popcorn. They're like, this is a good show. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my god. Then he's bringing it to the electric chair. And he's struggling this time. He's like, oh no, wait a minute. I was just trying to do a party trick, dude. Guys, come down. So, before they even set up any of the others, like, before he sets them up in the chair or anything like that, the guy's testing the electric chair, and he turns it on, and there's a spark. He's like, what the hell was that? I'm like, really? So they strap him in, and literally the guy's like, oh, try to think of something else. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Why? He's gonna die. And then it comes back full circle to the guy. And he's like, do you like your chair? It was a horrible, horrible invention. And that's what I'm saying what I mean when I say that something's gonna happen, because the past few instances, the dreams, they start and they actually do come full circle. The only one that we haven't seen was the bomber. But you'll see in a second why. So next was a few other people. A few people actually do break the fourth wall, which is funny. This one guy who was a psychiatrist for like 20 plus years, and he's like, I'm tired. I'm tired of this. I can't force to make people to be happy. And the entire time I thought they were gonna walk in on him, and then he's gonna keep talking, and they're just gonna turn around and walk right back out. It's basically like, all right, so the camera's set up as I am right now. I could walk around in here. I could do a scene in here. And that's basically what the movie was. It moved very little times, which was nice. One of the instances that got very weird was during, like, a jubilee or something like that, where they're singing. I don't know what they were singing, because it didn't have the subtitles. I think it was the Swedish national anthem. I think. I don't know. But they're singing. And then they start swaying. And then some of them start getting up, because I thought they were getting tired of all the singing. But they just stand. Then they switch. And next thing you know, the guy's like, oh, I gotta go get somebody. So he's walking. Next thing you know, they're on their chairs. Just standing on their chairs. And I'm thinking, what are you doing? I hope one of you falls. And then take their place and go, bang! And I'm like, what are those plates made out of? Holy fuck. So, pie break. So it's like, okay. So the guy comes down. Then they start holding hands. They're saying blah, 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 blah. And then they lift their glasses. As they're saying, they clink, and they're like, yay! And I'm like, okay. Then, the next scene was his son's calling, and I think that he has a drug problem. His son has a drug problem. He's like, no, you borrowed money from me. And you borrowed money from me the time before. And then you asked your mom. And then you asked your sister. And then something happened. I guess the guy just hung up. Another thing, too, that I really did appreciate was all this stuff's happening. All this sad stuff. Next thing you know, Oompa Band music's playing. You know, the whoomp, 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 whoomp. That kind of music. You know, the stuff that you just kind of bop your head to. All this sad stuff's happening, and then just everything's just going to shit. Like, with, one of the scenes was actually in the very beginning. It was the second one. Where the Oompa Band's playing. And there's this guy just looking out the window. At a frosty glass. And I do apologize, because I felt wicked bad after seeing this. I was sad for a second. There's this old man. He's in his walker. He has a leash behind him. And the dog's just all tangled up. And the guy doesn't even know. So the dog's struggling. He's whimpering and all that stuff. And it's sad. But yet the Oompa music's playing. It gets you upbeat and all that stuff. So it's like, what? The same instance with, there was this band called the Louisiana Brass Band. They were playing their, like, ding music. And it's like, during a thunderstorm. And it's like, okay. So, the next dream was this punk girl. Married, like, this guitarist. And it's a surrealist, awesome movie. And this is kind of why. There's music. He's playing his guitar, and it outside looks like, you know, traffic's going on, trains passing by, cars passing by. Then it gets dark. Then I think, oh, they're on a train. But then it shoots outside, and the house, the entire building's moving. And I'm like, oh? And then also in some shots, you see the people are just doing their thing, and they just kind of look up. And they're like, what are you looking at? So at the end of the movie, what ends up happening is the bombers are actually coming. But it ends, like, as soon as, like, the third wave of, like, bombers show up. Which is, okay. But, the point it comes across. I mean, in all honesty, You get the point. But it's funny how all this stuff happens. One of the scenes was this guy was getting a haircut. He's like, I want it to the left. It's like, you know, same thing, a little different. You know what to do. It's like, and the guy, I felt bad for the guy. He was, I think he was Arabic, something like that. It's true. And he's like, all right, well, do you want part to the right? He's like, I want part to the left. Part of that don't you fucking understand? And like, well, I'm sorry, it's right here. He's like, look, I know from where you're from, you read from, you know, everything you do is backwards, but, you know, I want it to the left. Now shut up and start cutting. And he's like, all right, listen, just because, you know, he was Arabic and he reads from right to left doesn't mean it's backwards. He's like, when you drive on the other side of the road, are you driving backwards? And he's like, look, I don't need a lecture from you. Just shut up and cut. And the guy's like, all right. Takes out his thing. He takes out a razor. Hey, dip your head down a little bit. A little more. A little more. Right there. Puts it down and he walks away. He just gives this guy a faux hawk, and the guy's like, what? So the guys are sitting there in a, he's not in a bar. He's in a cafe. And he's sitting there with his, like, his little cup. The guy comes, Bonzo now comes in. He brings 2 cops. And he's like, I'm going to sue you for everything that I have. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you for hundreds of thousands of dollars. I missed an important meeting. He's like, hey, chill out, all right? Look, I'm just having a bad day. You know, my wife fought with me. You know, it happens. He's like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to sue you. You're going to be nothing. Cops are just standing there. They're just like, and they just leave. So he's like, look, I'll fix it for you. I'll just free of charge. He's like, you can't fix this. I missed an important meeting because of you. You know, you're gonna hear from me. You're gonna, and he's like, wait, hey, look, all right. I'm sorry, I had a bad day. Let me fix it for you, free of charge. He just goes like this. He's bald, and everyone's like, wow, it's been ages, huh? This industry really does take a toll on you, huh? And he's just like, sad. It's a very weird movie. All these movies that we're seeing are based off of what my professor likes. I mean, if it was up to me, I would review a bunch of other movies, but whatever. It definitely, I would recommend this movie. It is funny. You don't even have to watch this. You don't even have to look at the subtitles. You can just watch what happens, and you can understand what's going on. I mean, yeah, subtitles do help. So, subtitles advised. Adult content advised. You guys know the drill. Anyways, that's it for this week's movie review. Double feature. So, sorry about that. But, anyways, so that's really it. I didn't really expect to. That was the reviewing of the Super trailer. It was kind of last minute, kind of sporadic, but it's a little different. I kind of just contradicted exactly everything that I said, because I said, oh, I usually don't do like my own stuff. I mean, if it was up to me, yeah, I did. But that's really it. I think we're about halfway done with the class, so we don't really have that much movie reviews left. But hey, we'll just do what we can. I don't know what's next. I'm actually gonna check that right now. Live. We're gonna do this live. Not cutting this. It takes about 2 seconds, anyways. Now, I do pardon if the sniffling was annoying you. I kind of coming down with something, probably. So, oh no, that's just that you got my stuff. Never mind. We don't know what's going on. So, still a mystery. I'm still trying to wake up. I woke up an hour ago. And I'm still trying to wake up. But I digress. Anyways, thank you so much for all your support. If you like this video and you like the double feature, and you're excited for the new Dragon Ball Super movie, definitely hit that like button. And subscribe if you haven't already. And share this with your friends so they can join in on this madness. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. My pie is cold, but yet at the same time it's hot. It's weird. I don't like it. I guess it's better than it being temperature hot. It burns your mouth. And then it burns you again with that heat. It's not that spicy, but holy crap, I'm having 2 pies.
This is madness!